Hi, thank you all for watching online or coming here. My name is Maria Paula Saba, and my thesis is called Jewelry Bots, Open Source Programmable Jewelry. So my background is in graphic and industrial design, and during my undergrad I started working with new media and technology projects, and in all projects I worked until I came here, all developers were men. Well, I used to think that programming was too complicated and boring, and I would probably still think that if I haven't come to ITP. In general, there's a lot of technology, but they say they're afraid of understanding how it works. I talked to young girls and they told me they think it's intimidating, they think it's too hard. And that's because they lack of role models of women in tech. They grow up hearing that maths are for boys. In my case, I was a good math student, but I wanted a creative career, and computer science just seemed unattractive. In my thesis, I want to show that programming can be creative, it can be beautiful, it can be a tool of self-expression, and that it's easier than they think. So I did some background research on this scenario, and I was shocked with the facts that there's a documentary called C++ made by Stanford CS alumni about women participation in computer science, and they say that 52% of bachelors of science were awarded to women in 2010, but in science, but in computer science specific, it's only 18. This number dropped to 18. And actually, this number decreased if compared to 20 years ago. It was almost 30 and decreased to 18. Clearly, women are demotivated to pursue a career that is a male-dominated field. And what's the problem with that? Well, computer science jobs are increasing in an incredible rate. And the average pay is really high, $60 an hour. Programming skills will become ever more important, and women won't be able to compete for these jobs if we don't do something about it. At the same time, computers are becoming more attractive with the evolution of wearables. Celebrities are already using all kinds of wearable tech on stage, and this is becoming more mainstream. I believe we can raise girls' interest in computer science through fashion. So I took a look at the wearables out there, and I found two kinds of wearables. One is like specific purpose. They're beautiful, but they are like very neutral appearance. Their ultimate goal is not expression, but tracking or notifying. And I also found, and they are closed source, which you cannot alter anything on them. And I also found the very, very geek DIY wearables. You can find lots of tutorials on the internet, but they require lots of previous experience in electronics and programming. So I said my thesis goal was to bring customization and open sourceness to beautiful aesthetics and make it a natural extension of what girls like. Just like young boys want to learn programming because they want to build video games, I wanted girls to be interested in coding their own appearance. So to start designing, I actually had to understand my user, and do girls actually want to wear light? So I went to the Lower Side Girls Club to do a design workshop. I actually built a wearable light switch that I'm wearing right now. I laser cut several pieces in different shapes and different colors and brought a lot of materials so we together could build, each girl build their own wearable light. So it was 20 girls from 9 to 17-year-old, and in about 2 hours and a half, they did all sorts of bracelets, necklaces, and the older ones who had smartphones, they start hot gluing their pieces in phone cases. So I actually, they were very happy with what they built. You can see their smiles, and they expressed a big interest in being able to control the lights. Especially because this is a switch, it wasn't on all the time. They were like, how can I make it on all the time? So this leads to my design. I actually, even though I made the girls build their jewelry, I wanted to focus on the customization, the software part. So my ideal user interface is that you buy an electronic jewel, and then you plug it into the computer, and through a graphical interface, you change the code, upload to the jewel, and through USB. And I decided to make a bracelet. I decided because I thought there were two different kinds of inputs that I can put in there, which is a motion sensor and a button. And the output would be RGB LEDs, which means like colored lights, and you color it with one. I thought about two principles for my design would be an interchangeable case. So the electronics could be, you can have one electronics for different cases. And also making advantage of the circuit to the design of the jewel itself. Since I have to connect these components, I can make this into my design. So I researched all components out there, and before buying all of them, I printed it on a real size and played with different combinations in paper, so I can understand how I could place them and how big it was. Then I went to clay to understand volume, and I learned that in clay we use wires to structure the shapes. So I thought, wow, these wires could actually be my circuit. So I baked wires in polymer clay, and this is a video. I think the translucent clay worked pretty well for diffusing the light. So I decided that this would be definitely my case. But I needed like a culvert, something more, less fragile. And I had to learn 3D printing for that, 3D modeling and printing. I had a really hard time in the beginning to make this bracelet shape until Antonio showed me flexible filament, which means that I can design it flat, print it, and then later put it in hot water and mold it as I want. And then I can put the clay flowers on top. So this is the circuit for my jewel. It's probably the most beautiful circuit I ever made. And to take components, I'm using a tiny Arduino clone called Arduino, the accelerometer, battery, and a charger, so you don't have to take the battery out. And I'm using the Leo Pixels, which are the RGB LEDs with a chip. And the process is that you have to sculpt everything, bake it, then you solder and you place on top, and then you have your bracelet. So I went to the Lower Side Girls Club again to show the girls what I did, and I got a great reception. They really like it. And I was like, no, please tell me what you don't like about it. You can be honest. And this Shayla, she was like, I don't like the white. It looks like plastic. And then I sent out an online survey with pictures, and I got like lots of responses like that. I don't like the white, if it was metal. So I decided to make it look like silver. With Sharpie. So this is the final piece in pink, but you can also have it in different colors as you program it. This is a video of like changing colors. I really like how the light reflects on the metal. And here's a video of me wearing it. And I programmed this, what I call rainbow. And if I press the button, it blinks blue. So you can ask now, so how do you program that, right? And right now, if you want to program Arduino, that's how it looks like. It's a bunch of text, and I wanted to make more user-friendly. I wanted to make it look like this. So I built a website, and first of all, to understand the structure of this website, I had to understand how programming my circuit works. And I did a programming workflow, which is the condition if you have an input or not, and which kind of input. The output is always the same, which are the LEDs, how they light up, the color, and for how long, until we reach the next step. So I realized, wow, I have all these options that looks like a drop-down menu. So I can make a drop-down menu interface that prompts questions as soon as the user chooses a parameter. So, unbutton, how, the single click, which LED, how, it will blink slow, in which color. So this is how a program would look like in my language. And I also decided to, like, all LEDs will have the same color, like all functions will have the same color and indentation to help organize visually. And this is the website I designed. I have on the left part the jewel and an explanation of the circuit. I have a sketch pad in the middle, and in the right I have some examples, because I learned that even the simplest programming language, you need examples to learn from. And I have a popular, that section doesn't work, but I wanted to make like the girls could share their, so they can make a code for their best friend and send to them, for example. And they could code and have the most popular ones. So I didn't go to the website yourself for user testing, the final one. I went to Eleanor Roosevelt High School. And when I got there, I was shocked because this is the art class. It's full of girls. And this is the programming class. It has 9 boys and 1 girl. And the teacher said, it's really hard to make girls to sign up for my class. So I user tested the girls. I asked if they knew programming, they didn't. They were actually hesitated. They were like, I'm not able to do that. And I was like, yes, you are. Let's do that together. And in 10 seconds explanation, they were doing by themselves. And their reactions when they saw the code in the joke. Well, what I learned from user testing is that I need a getting started section, like either a short video or some pop-ups. And I want to do now a live demo for you. And so here's the website. And so, bigger. I don't want to start, it will take too long if we do it from scratch, so I'm going to get my favorite rainbow example and change it. So it says that on start all LEDs will turn on in white for half second. I don't know, I don't want all LEDs, I just want the middle one turn on in pink for 1 second. And then in the loop, there is this nice red, yellow, green, light blue, purple. And in the end, they all turn white. I don't want them all turn white. I want them to turn off for 1 second after that. And on button, I can choose to click the button, and let's say all LEDs will blink fast in dark blue for 1 second. So when I finish writing my code, I download the code. It comes in an Arduino extension, and I have to plug in my Joule. Sorry about that. So it's lighting up a previous code, probably. I hope it found the serial port. So while it's uploading, I can tell you that one thing I envision for next steps in this project is making it Bluetooth, so you can program from your phone and just send it, so it will be wireless. Then uploading. Let me turn it on and see. So it's the middle one was pink for 1 second. Now I have my rainbow. It will turn off now, hopefully after 5 seconds, and the rainbow starts again. And if I press the button, which is here, it should blink blue. For all the support, Bernardo, my partner, and all the ITP faculty and students, my friends. I want to thank Sarah Ships, which is my business partner in this. I really want to take it further. Yeah, I want to thank everyone. I want to thank you for teaching me how to code and for changing my life. It's not the end, it's just the beginning.
So I love it. It's really, really wonderful. One of the things that I really love also is when you download the code, you get to see the code. Is there any possibility that you would teach the girls whenever they wanted to start coding in like deeper?
So, yeah, I have some comments. I can make it even more detailed. So, but I have like we start including libraries, and then we started defining certain numbers, the variables for the clicks. So I kind of commented that.
Right.
That's the problem of having adding the Bluetooth functionality, because they wouldn't see the code.
Yeah.
And also in my website, this is not coded, but I want to make a learn page where they could like, hey, this is an Arduino. You can study more this, and it's like send links to Charles so they could go by their own if they want to.
That's great.
There may be ways to do Bluetooth and the coding things as part of it. There may be ways to solve Bluetooth and
Oh, really?
at the same time. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Great job.
Thanks.
As a product you could sell, like a self-assembly kit, they can build it on their own in the future. It comes in.
You mean building the hardware as well? Yeah, I mean, little bit does that, so I could probably do it, but it needs definitely more than 3 months of development. Yeah, why not? I mean, they already like what I learned from this project is that girls like physical things. So they like building. I bought tons of jewelry kits to build your own jewelry. So yeah, that's could definitely be a way to go. Oh, thank you.